Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. D. Priyadarshini, Department of Cybersecurity. Today we are going to discuss about the decision control statements. The decision control instruction can be implemented in C program with four different statements. One is if statement, the next one is if else statement, and third one is nested if else, and fourth one is if else class. What do you mean by if statement? The if statement is nothing but it supports for taking the decision to transfer the control from one place to another. The if statement in C uses the keyword if to implement the decision control instructions. The general form of if statement looks like this. If condition then executes the statement which it is right. The keyword if tells the compiler that what follows is a decision control instruction. The condition following the keyword if is always enclosed with the pair of parentheses. If the condition is true, then the statement will be executed the true block. If the condition fails, it automatically turns towards the next line of the if statement. Though if statement has a simpler form, only we are providing the true condition to be executed. But in case of the else part, that is, if the condition is not true, what the system has to do, that can be given with the help of if else statement. For using the if statement, we can use the operators, that is relational operators, which can capable of identifying less than, greater than, less than equal to, or greater than equal to, and not equal to. This operators helps to qualify the if statement. This is an example program for a simple if statement. Here the if statement was given for checking whether number is less than or equal to 10. We are getting the number from the user and the number will be checked with it is less than or greater than. If so, the system will print what an servant, obedient servant you are. If the number is greater than or not, the condition is satisfied. If the number is greater than or not equal to 10, then the compiler won't execute the printf statement. Automatically, it comes towards the next line of the program. In case of explaining, or if we want to expand the multiple statements in if, say for an example, if the condition is satisfied or if the expression is true, I have to execute two or more statements that can be provided in a parenthesis, which we can able to have any number of statements if the condition is true. Here is an example. If year of service is greater than 3, then the bonus is equal to 2500 and print the bonus is equal to rupees 2500. You can add any number of statement in such case. When the condition is fails in if statement, what the compiler has to do? It will go for the if else statement. If statement by itself will execute a single statement or a group of statement when the expression follow if evaluates to true. If the condition is true, the statement of the true block will be evaluated. If the condition fails, the else part will be evaluated. The else part consists of the false statement, that is, if the condition is not true, then the compiler has to execute the else block. The group of statement after if up to and not included the else is called an if block. That is, else part will be exactly below the if statement to define, that is the false part of the previous if statement. The statements will. Here is an example of finding the if statement. If the basic salary is less than 1500, then HRA and DDA is calculated based on that. Else, that is, if the basic salary is not less than 1500, then according to that, the HRA and DDA will be calculated. Next, we are going to discuss about the nested if else. That is, the if statement consists of another if statement is called nested if else. If the condition is true, do another if statement. If not, then do the else part. You can add any number of if statement within another if statement. This was the criteria. If condition is true, do the true part, else do the another checking condition of the else part. If the first condition fails, it check for the second condition. If the second condition fails, it check for the third condition, and it goes on. Here is an example for the checking of the statement if and if else. If the percentage is greater than 60, print first division, else it check for the another condition if percentage either greater than or equal to 50. That is, if the first condition is true, then it will print the first division. If the first condition fails, it check for the second condition, that is percentage is greater than or equal to 50. If this condition is also fails, then it will go for the third condition. You can add any number of conditions in this if-else statements. Using of a logical operators and, or, and not respectively in if statement to check the multiple statement, that is multiple conditions in one if statement. Here is an example. If percentage is greater than or equal to 50 and percentage is less than 60, you can print that second division. Here we are checking not only one condition here, we are checking multiple condition by using the operator AND. Thank you.